Hi, I'm Wayne and this is Bassador Woodworking. Today's project's a little different. We're going to be restoring this Wheelock College seal that I got from my college a bunch of years ago. I don't remember exactly how I came to be in possession of this seal. I believe it was at some point during my freshman year. This was by the dumpster on the front of an old podium, so I took it because it's dope. And I decided that this would be hanging on my wall all through college, and it did. But it's pretty beat up. It needs to be restored. Somebody put a lot of work into building this in the first place, so in honor of that, I'm going to try to fix it up. There's a couple of missing pieces that I'll have to recut. The whole thing kind of needs a new coat of paint, so I'll paint where I can without destroying anything. And then it needs a couple more of these leafy flower things to be added. So this would be a good scroll saw project. Before jumping into the project, here's some Wheelock context. Wheelock is now a part of Boston University, but that happened after I left, so it's essentially just Wheelock College to me. It was located right down the street from Fenway Park in Boston. I was very involved on campus. I was a resident assistant for 3 years, I was an athlete, I was in student government. After graduating, I got my first job in IT at Wheelock. During my time as an employee and a student, I made lifelong friends, and I'm even still on the side of a building there. I also received my master's degree from Wheelock and spoke at my commencement.
A couple of years ago, I decided to continue my education and began to pursue my master's in nonprofit leadership, a pursuit that, if all goes according to plan, will be completed in the next few minutes.
Wheelock was founded in 1888 by Lucy Wheelock as a kindergarten training school. The college's popular majors were education, social work, and child life. I started at Wheelock intending to become an elementary school teacher, but after doing one day in a classroom, I noped right out of that and decided to major in history instead. Wheelock had a simple mission: to improve the lives of children and families, and that really resonated with me when I was looking at colleges. To get started on this project, I printed a 1-for-1 copy of the seal on a piece of paper. The hope is that the oak leaves on the print will give me a perfect stencil for the missing leaf. I cut the leaf out with an X-Acto knife and then used some spray adhesive to stick it to a piece of wood. I then made my way over to the scroll saw. I have this saw mounted on drawer slides in my dado station, so that's quick and easy to access. Originally, the scroll saw was kept in a cubby in the dado station, but I found that I was hardly ever using the thing. It was just too much of a hassle to dig out and plug in when it came time to use it, and I'd opt to use one of the band saws instead. So mounting it on the drawer slide seems to have remedied that. Making the saw easier to access does not, however, make me better at using the thing. I'm a complete novice at the scroll saw, so the piece cut from the stencil didn't even come close to matching the one on the piece. So I carefully removed one from the seal and used it as a template for the second attempt. On the second attempt, I was much more deliberate in my approach and took little bites out of the piece instead of trying to simply follow the line like I would with the bandsaw. I also left a couple of thin valleys in the leaf uncut that I will use the bandsaw to cut. The curve of the blade should give me a perfect line. Blue first. Painting the pieces was the most stressful portion of this project. Getting the paint to match took a couple of tries. My first attempt at the Wheelock blue was much too bright, but after adding a couple more dabs of white, I think I got it dialed in pretty nicely. I used regular super glue and an activator to adhere the pieces to the seal. I went back and forth about using wood glue instead, but landed on super glue as I was connecting two painted surfaces and thought that wood glue may have trouble getting a hold on the paint. I carefully gave a fresh coat of blue to all areas that needed it and dabbed some fresh white to cover the various dings and scuffs. I really took my time with this and always had a rag in my other hand to quickly wipe up blue paint that inevitably ended up on a white surface. Once I had all of the original pieces reattached and coated in some fresh paint, it was time to attach my recreations to complete the seal. Okay, that's more or less just as uneven as the others. It's not perfect, but none of this is. And that's where I'm going to leave this for now. I could go deeper and do more restoration and more cleaning of it, but I was really just aiming to replace what was missing to make the sign whole again. So I think I did that. I got to play around with my scroll saw, which I don't get to do a whole bunch, and I think it's looking really good. I'm going to mount it somewhere in the shop, so it'll be just in the background from now on. But thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to keep up to date with new projects as they are released, and until next time, thank you.